Courage and the boldness that you gain after speaking affirmations over yourself. The more you hear it, the more you believe that it's true.
And welcome to Premier Fitness. I'm Gene Williams, your yoga instructor, and I'm here to tell you about the benefits of yoga.
Hey, thank you for joining us. You have just tuned in to Where is the Love? I am your host. I am Stephne Hawkenhall. Joining me is my son, my co-host, Gene Williams.
Hey, how you doing?
I had to get my light on.
Yeah,
What's happening?
Put your license up.
Y'all, we have been MIA for a few weeks, but we are back. We're back. And we are back with some things. Yeah, we are back with some things good for you. It's been good to us. We are talking about emotions. We've talked about emotional intelligence. We have talked about managing your emotions. So now we are talking about emotions still. We want to dig deep in this thing. So right now, if you have joined us, you can catch us on Facebook Live, which is where you might be watching us now, or you might be watching us on YouTube Live, Love Misunderstood Institute on both YouTube and Facebook, and then on Premier Fitness 0210. That is on YouTube. You can watch it there. Also, we are. If you want to watch us on TV, you want to see us on TV, check us out. Check us out on TV right now while we are live. You can watch us on Roku. You can also watch us on Amazon Fire. All you have to do is go to search and type in PODTV space LIVE, and you can watch us on TV. However, you can also watch us live on the internet, podtv.tv. So those are the places you can catch our show right now while we're live. And you can always go back to the YouTube channel or the Facebook channel and watch us again. So you want to add anything, son? I'm just rattling off, trying to find
all the information so they know where to catch us. Yeah, but I wanted to say we will talk specifically today about where emotions or how emotions show up in the body. I think that's very important that people are aware that, you know, when there's a lot going on, any emotion causes it shows up in the body. So that's what we're going to touch on today. Also, Ma, if you can you go to your page and make this broadcast shareable?
Okay, I'll have to do that while you get started. Okay, yeah. Good.
All right. Again, we're talking about emotions in the body. Y'all ready for this one? Come on now. All right. So this information was obtained from good therapy, just so you're aware, okay? Cross-cultural research suggests each emotion manifests differently in our body. In one 2014 study, participants were exposed to words, stories, or facial expressions intended to prompt a specific emotion. They were then asked to color in parts of the body where they felt parts of the body that they felt were increasing or decreasing in activity. Each type of emotion left its own unique blueprint on the body. For example, anger causes one's head, chest, and arms to greatly increase in activity. In other words, participants tended to breathe heavily, get sweaty palms, and develop flushed faces. Meanwhile, people experiencing disgust reported more activity around their throat and abdomen, likely reflecting nausea. Happiness was the only emotion which caused the entire body to have an increase in activity. Isn't that amazing? Happiness
Yeah.
activates the entire body, lets those feel good endorphins flow, and everything is just in a blissful state. Be happy, don't worry. Be happy, don't
Oh my
worry. Be
goodness.
happy now. All right. All right. So the following information was obtained from the Library of Congress. Yeah, we do the research. The lady right there, she does the research. She be looking at the stuff.
I do. I'll be trying to get out, well, not all of it, but as much as I can, because
Yeah,
I want to understand this stuff and I definitely want to help other people understand it.
yeah, yeah. That's what we're here for, people. That's what we're here for. All right. So emotion is an adaptive response, part of the vital process of normal reasoning and decision making. It is one of the highest levels of bioregulation for the human organism and has an enormous influence on the maintenance of our homeostatic balance and thus our well being. Last but not least, emotion is critical to learning and memory. Using image techniques such as magnetic resonance imagery or MRI and positron emission tomography, PET scans to study patients with brain lesions as well as normal subjects have begun to make some inroads into understanding the areas of the brain involved in different types of emotion.
So I'll interject so you can pause. So, in doing this research, so we have to know that, oh, by the way, it is shareable on my personal page. I don't know what Love Misunderstood. Oh, there it is. Let me delete. Do you see it to share it? I thought I saw that you already shared it.
No, I tried to, but it's you know what? I'll share it from here.
Do you see it to share it? I thought I saw that you already shared it. Can you turn that down?
No, I cannot.
Okay, y'all. Okay, we're on there. All right. So we're on Love Misunderstood page, and then we're on my personal page. Oh, so what I wanted to interject is about the brain. So we know that everything in our body is connected to our brain. So I thought it amazing to find out. I don't know why, because everything is connected to the brain and our body, but emotions are connected to a part of the brain, a specific part of the brain, and we'll talk about that a little later. But it helps us to recognize uh, and realize that how emotions affect us. How do we even know? How do we get that signal? Just like in everything else, I see you shared it now. Just like in everything else, we get the signal to the brain that lets us know, hey, your emotions is off. You need to check your emotions.
Right.
So I just wanted to add that little bit because everything the elbow bone is connected to the arm bone. The knee bone is connected to the leg bone.
Thigh bone.
Yeah, everything's connected to something. So our brain tells us when, like I said, when our emotions are off. So go ahead.
I was going to say it's really interesting though, if you think about it, how it seems as though physical pain and emotional pain, the brain really can't tell the difference. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's like it's the same. It shows up the same.
Yeah. All right. Emotion is very adaptive. Is that where we are?
Yes.
Emotion is a very adaptive form of psychological or physiological response, and it regulates our lives. Emotion is expressed largely in the theater of the body through posture. What?
Oh yeah.
Through posture. Wow. And facial expression, as well as through such internal processes as heart rate and blood pressure.
Right.
So, going back to this posture,
Right.
that's big.
Right.
So, if you slumped over and not sitting straight,
Right.
it can affect your emotions.
Well, and it's also indicative of like it's a representation of your emotions. Like for instance, if you're depressed,
Yep.
sad, you slump over, your shoulders are slumped, you got a hump in your spine. If you're
Yeah.
happy, you're like, you know, you're wide open. The body shows
Yeah.
everything. It shows everything. When you're angry, you know,
Yep.
everything shows it. So yeah.
Wow. Okay. So, it's just body language.
Right, exactly.
Wow. Okay. So, moreover, all of these bodily responses are fed back to the brain through neural channels as well as humoral channels, which bypass neural signaling.
Oh yeah.
So, I'm slumped over. My
Yeah.
body tells my brain she's sad, she depressed. Her mind ain't functioning right now.
Mhm.
Wow. Okay. So, and we talked about nonverbal body language in the past. And so now we see here that, our body speaks through nonverbal body language, speaks to our brain and tell us what's going on. Wow, we have to give our brain good signals. Okay. To understand how emotion works on the body, we must differentiate emotion from feeling. When we express any of the primary emotions, sadness, happiness, anger, fear, surprise, or disgust, our experiences express themselves physically in ways that can be observed by another person. People can look at you and see. They don't know exactly what's going on, but they can tell by your body language and by your posture,
Right.
you know, that you're not happy, that you're sad, that you're angry, that you're depressed. So, anyway, I'll stop.
Yeah. I was gonna say, it seems as well. Emotions are, first off, the word itself, you break it down as energy and motion. And that energy gives off a vibration and people can feel that, you know, especially if you're an empathic person,
I was getting ready to say that.
yeah, if you're an empathic person, you pick up on that signal. And I would also venture out to say that people who are empathetic, um, they they just pay attention to the signs. A lot of people are just like kind of in their own world, but empathetic people is like not only can they feel it, but it's like it's like you walk in and energy changes. What's going on?
Yeah.
And they pick up on it. So it's really interesting.
Wow. Okay, you go do the next part.
Feelings.
Yep.
All right. Feelings, by contrast, are our conscious perception of all those changes happening in the body and of very subtle changes that are happening in the way our cognitive apparatus functions. Most of what happens when an emotion is elicited happens non consciously. Often our body may already be in that state that represents anger before we know what is making us angry. The creation of this body state is automatic, largely preset by our genes to respond not to a particular thing, but to a certain category of things. For instance, when we generate states of fear or anger or disgust or happiness, we produce withdrawal behaviors or approach behaviors that have been preserved through evolution because they have proved advantageous to survival. We have inherited this system by sorting out what is good and what is bad automatically in order to preserve ourselves. The power of such non-conscious processing is enormous. Many studies have shown that in normal individuals, the amygdala, a brain structure intimately involved in the fear response and in recognizing fear, will be activated even when a person is not consciously aware of having been presented with a fearful stimulus. The brain can pick up a signal. See, again, those signals, picking up that energy.
Yep.
The brain can pick up a signal that is well masked at the conscious level. Conversely, individuals with damage to the amygdala may lose the ability to detect negative stimuli with unfortunate results in their lives.
So, the amygdala is where the signal is in the brain about the emotion. And so, if that's damaged, then we don't have that signal. That's quite interesting.
Right.
So, everybody has this, how can I say it? Everybody has this available to them, the signaling to the brain, the
Right.
posture. All of this lets you know, and people around you, because of the energy that you shared about, because of the energy that is let off, of the person, or that, goes out of the person and affects the whole room.
Right.
Wow.
Yeah, so it's like, I guess the amygdala would be like our natural spidey sense.
Yeah. Yeah. You picking up what I'm picking up?
Did you feel that? No, I didn't feel anything.
Something going on in here.
Exactly. The energy just shifted. You didn't feel that?
Yeah, and I hear people say that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, people walk into the room, and if they're not on the on the level or vibration that everyone else is on, then it changes. Whether they raise it or they lower it, all depends.
That's interesting.
Yeah, we are energetic beings, so yeah, we pick up on it, and the brain is like a transmitter of sorts. Exactly. I'm picking up. There's some shenanigans about to go on, guys. Let's go.
And I hear people say that. Now, reading this information, I'm getting that.
Yeah.
I understand that.
Right.
Very interesting. All right, you want to add something?
Fearfully and wonderfully made.
Very interesting. The following information, and it's something when I'm doing this research, I guess because I'm getting loads of information that I don't really stop to think about what's being said.
Right.
But when we start having a conversation about it, or we start reading it, then it's like, oh,
right,
this is what this is, or oh, it's a whole different thing.
Right. It's like it's a direct download to your brain.
Yeah. Okay. So the following information was obtained from Anatomy and Physiology 4th edition. I still have my Anatomy and Physiology book from school.
Oh, cool.
Huh?
Yeah. I have mine from yoga, my yoga and personal training and stuff, but I keep those.
Yeah, because when I read about when I saw about the amygdala, then I wanted to see how, the amygdala operates and how this all comes together. How does this really connect to the emotions? I don't just want to read stuff. I want to read it and understand it. Exactly. And so I was like, my A&P book breaks down stuff. I need to see what the amygdala do. Who is this? Who is amygdala?
Who that is? That's my baby daddy.
Okay. So, from this book, the prefrontal cortex is the seat of judgment, intent, and control over the expressions of our emotions. However we may feel it is here. it is here that we decide the appropriate way to show those feelings. But the feelings themselves and emotional memories form in deeper regions of the brain, the hypothalamus and amygdala. The amygdala also seems to be involved in a broad range of functions, including food intake, sexual activity, and driving our attention to novel stimuli. So, signals for food intake, signals for sexual activity, and drawing attention to the novel stimuli to the amygdala. They come. Wow. Okay. Let me stop. Going too deep. All right. I'll let you go ahead. You want to?
No. Yeah, you were right though. That's really interesting.
Yeah.
Like the amygdala is, if you look at a like a diagram of the brain, like it's so small, but it controls so much.
That reminds me of the pituitary gland, seeing how small it is and how big the work is that it does.
Right. Yeah. Same thing with the pineal gland. Like it controls a lot of the chemicals that flow in the body, and which also controls emotion.
Yeah.
That's man, again, fearfully and wonderfully made.
Yeah. We ain't we don't have these books for nothing. We ain't gaining all this knowledge for nothing. When we need it, it comes back to our memory to help us completely gather and understand the information that we're, putting forth.
Right.
Or obtaining.
Obtaining. The other old word I like.
Obtaining.
Yes, obtain. Yeah. Obtaining an opportunity.
You want to go or you want me to go?
I can do it.
Okay.
The following information comes from Healthline. How to build good emotional health. For starters, it's not the same thing as mental health. While the two terms are often used interchangeably, emotional health focuses on being in tune with our emotions, vulnerability, and authenticity. Keep in mind that having good emotional health doesn't mean you're always happy or free from negative emotions. It's about having the skills and resources to manage the ups and downs of day-to-day life.
I want to interject. We are always going to have ups and downs. Our emotions are always going to be up and down. Yep, it's a roller coaster ride, or like mountains and valleys.
Yes, Lord.
We're always going to be up and down. We have to be able to manage those emotions and control the emotions and not allow the emotions to control us. Right. Because when we allow the emotions to control us, we can get in a lot of trouble with ourselves and with other people.
Right.
So we have to learn how to manage those emotions because they're a real thing.
Right.
And we're gonna experience the ups and downs. So, all right, how does it look in action? You want to go or me?
I mean, I could do it. I just want to say it's kind of like controlling your emotions is like putting reins in a saddle on a wild horse. You know what I mean? You have to learn how to. You know what I mean? Ooh, yeah. Whoa, hold on, over here now, no, down. So that's how emotions are. You sometimes you're like, whoa, Nelly, whoa.
Yeah.
Gotta pull back on them, you know. And either you get either you control the emotions, i.e. the horse, and you tame it, or they gonna kick you off and they gonna ride. You know what I mean? So it's better to always be in control of your emotions as much as possible. I mean, you know, you're gonna feel things, like you said, you're gonna feel things, but to be in control as opposed to being controlled.
Yeah.
Because your emotions are yours to master, to direct. So you know, having the tools is is the way that you're going to be able to control your emotions and not be controlled by them.
Right. And something I say a lot on different shows is, for example, when you're experiencing an emotion that you don't like, or that you're not happy with, or that is not good for you, that's the best way to say it. Dealing with an emotion that is not good for you. This is what you got in your hand. You got that in your hand. Do you want to hold on to it, or you want to open your hand and let it go?
Or do you want to toss it or flick it like it's a booger?
Beverly, get your nephew. At least you'll be getting rid of it if you do that.
Get over there. Get over me now. Get over me.
Lord, oh my goodness. Okay, what where we at? How does it look?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, all right. Me? Okay. All right. So how does it look in action? Here's a look at some common examples of good emotional health and the impact it can have. Number one, noticing upsetting emotions when they arise. This enables you to name them and process them in healthy ways. For example, you might choose to compassionately confront someone who hurt or angered you rather than lash out at them. Or maybe you opt to set some healthy boundaries at work or with loved ones. Very important, Lord, boundaries. Lord, that's my favorite B word, I believe, other than billions.
Yeah.
Boundaries.
Yep.
I love you, but this all right. That's unacceptable.
Yeah. Yep.
All right. Number two, catching your own self-judgments. Man, Lord. Turn that critical inner voice into an opportunity for self-love and compassion.
Mark said, not the boundaries. Are you showing the hand again?
Oh yeah, boom. Hard pass. Stiff arm.
What they used to say, look at the hand. Talk to the hand.
Talk to the hand because the face ain't listening, okay?
Oh my goodness. We're on number two.
Yeah. All
right. Go ahead.
For example, when you find yourself engaging in negative self-talk, you might ask, if someone else were talking to me this way, I ain't no telling what he could see. If someone else were talking to me this way, how would I respond? Yeah. What makes it challenging for me to treat myself the same way I treat others? Say that. Preach, all that, Bishop.
Yeah, and that just makes me think of treat others the way you want to be treated.
Right.
You have to reverse that too. Am I being treated? Would I allow this if somebody else was talking to me this way? How? Yep. So that's good. That's good. All right. Curiosity. Emotional health flourishes when you're curious about your thoughts, behaviors, and feelings, and why they might arise at certain times. It's important to be able to ask yourself, why do I react this way? Or what is it about my past that might lead me to have a strong reaction to X, Y, and Z? I'm going to pause right there. So one of the things that I always say is that things, if you don't deal with the situation, and I've been saying this a lot more lately because it just is a part of me now. When certain things happen, why are they happening? Right. What do you need to learn from it? Why is this resurrecting? And that's the word I've been using. So basically, this issue or this thought has been dead for a while. I haven't thought about it. But now here it is again. So it resurrects again. Okay, here's another opportunity for you to deal with this.
Right.
And if you don't deal with it, it's going to die for a little bit again, for a period of time, and then it's going to come back. So when things happen, when things come to mind, especially if it hurts, if it's some kind of pain, it's brought back to your attention to deal with the situation, giving you another opportunity to deal with it at that time.
Yeah.
And if you don't deal with it, it's going to keep coming back. So you're going to keep having the same experience until you learn the lesson.
Right.
And that's just how it works. You want to add something?
Yeah, I had something I was going to say, and then as soon as you finished it, it left my head. Say what you said again, please. The last part.
If you don't deal with it, it resurrects, it'll come back, it repeats itself until you learn the lesson.
Right, right. Okay, so, and as you learn the lesson, you're taking your power back from
That's
whatever
good.
that charge. Yeah, you're
That's
taking.
good.
So, and that's the important.
Wow.
Yeah, yeah. It's a conscious effort to take your power back. From something that is taken from you. Now you get to take that power back from them. So it's important to be very aware of your emotions, very aware of how they affect you, how other people affect you. But again, it's always an opportunity to take your power back when you deal with whatever you were feeling, whatever went dormant for a while and came back like, "Hi, I'm back."
Yep.
It's another opportunity to grow.
Yep. Man, that's awesome. And an eye opener.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. So why is this so important? Working on our emotional health is just as important as taking care of our physical well-being. Both are important.
Oh yeah.
And that work pays off with resilience to stress.
Yep.
That ain't nothing.
Right.
I done been through that before.
Right.
It don't have the same power.
There we go.
Woo!
There we go. Getting that Herculean strength going on with them emotions, man. You over here bench pressing, repression, and stuff like that. Listen, man, you ain't nothing to me, partner. I pity the fool. I pity the fool.
That make me think of Chris. That don't. What do you say? That don't stick to me. I'm like Teflon, baby. That don't stick to me.
There we go. There we go. Lie right on up. Go ahead.
Yep. Wow. Okay. So, and that work pays off with. It shows that emotional distress makes you more vulnerable to physical illness by impacting your immune system. Ooh, talk to that, Gene.
Yeah. So yeah. Oh yeah. So anything that's high stress makes you way more vulnerable to sickness because it wrecks the body. It causes your nervous system to become overactive, and then it causes your immune system to go down. So it's like stress is the silent killer. Uh, um, and the more you stress out about something, it produces more cortisol in the body, which causes again you to gain weight, you to have higher stress. Again, makes you more apt to catch a disease or something like that. It's just all around a bad deal when you don't have control over your emotions.
So what I heard from that is that the good thing, you're off balance, and so that good thing goes to bad and more bad and more bad and more bad until you
Right.
look at the situation, evaluate the situation,
Right.
and choose, let that bad go. That the good is decreased.
Right.
And so now I'm getting sick because I don't have enough. Go ahead.
Because I'm allowing myself to be stressed out about something.
Right.
The big thing is to control what you have control over. Something I have to tell myself all the time. You know it. Exercise control over what you have control over, which is your reaction to things. Things are going to happen. Like that's just the nature of life itself. If you allow yourself to constantly be knocked around by life, always stressed out about everything, then that's going to show up in your body as disease. And I mean, so the more negative energy you have in your body, your cells actually produce that over and over again, which creates more of your reality. So it's like you have that fear or that emotional distress, and you don't deal with it, and that one replicates over and over and over again to produce those results that you haven't dealt with until you actually deal with it. You have to put your eyes on it, acknowledge it, and then do the work to get to the other side of it.
Wow, that's good. That's good. Go to the next part. I'm still marinating on what you just said.
All right. All right. Deeper relationships. When you're equipped with skills to manage your emotions, it's easier for you to connect with others and show more empathy and compassion. You're also better able to talk through your feelings. Whatever.
He said, "There she goes, marinating again."
Man, they like some steak overnight.
He said, "Better than her simmering." Right.
That's the next step, though.
I'll marinate. I'm cool marinating. I'm cool where I'm at.
All right. Emotional. So let's go to emotional health. There we go.
I think
Creates. I got you. Creates higher self-esteem. Your thoughts, feelings, and experiences influence the way you feel about yourself. Good emotional health helps you see the best in yourself despite challenges. And that's the beauty of it. Like when you have that emotional well-being, you're not so hard on yourself, because I would figure most people like myself are their worst critics. But when you realize, you have a higher self-esteem, it's like, you know what, I made a mistake. Okay, hey, I apologize. You make amends for it, and then you do better work. Okay, I did this last time, so let me and having a higher self-esteem, it allows you to let your brain flow, and it's like, okay, so what's the solution? And you can figure it out better when you have a higher self-esteem. It's like you can look down upon the problem like, oh, okay, oh, I saw, okay, so that's what I need to change. All right, so you just change that up, and now you have something else. When we have low self-esteem, I'm not intelligent enough to figure it out. I don't have the strength, or it's always something negative. The negative self-talk we talked about before. So yeah, having that emotional health and having higher self-esteem, man, that's a perfect combination right there.
And so one of the things that I heard from what you just said is with that low self-esteem, your judgment is cloudy. Everything is cloudy. So you don't, you can't think as well. So,
and I would imagine neurologically, when you're in a state of low self-esteem, that your brain functions at a lower level. When you feel good about yourself, those feel good endorphins kick in, and it takes your brain like, oh, okay, hey, it's over here, me. You know what I mean? When you said, it's like the brain's moving like a slug, sad slug, man, a sad slug.
Yeah. Wow. Okay. More energy having. Is that where we are?
Yes.
More energy having. So let me see here. That work pays off with more energy. Having a positive outlook makes you feel more energized and helps you focus and think more clearly, whereas poor emotional health depletes your mental resources and leads to exhaustion.
Right. Yeah, because poor emotional health is like a heavy weight on your shoulders at all times. It's just weighing on you. And you can't stand up straight. You can't catch a good breath because you're bent over, you're hunched over, and your lungs can't even open up well. You got this weight on your shoulders, you're carrying the world on your shoulders, and you're like this. So, and after a while, you're gonna pass out. Not only physically, but emotionally, and that causes a whole breakdown of the body. Because first thing we are energetic beings, and the energy that you constantly have over and over again creates a reality.
That's good. You so smart.
Okay. Oh, oh, pissed off.
I mean, as you talk, I learn more and I hear more and other things come to mind. I think Gene is a member of Mensa. What's Mensa, Gene?
I
Mark, what is
don't
Mensa?
remember. I don't remember. I've heard it recently.
He'll tell us.
He
All
got
right.
fired as well.
All right. So, what is Mensa? Emotional Mensa is that organization of geniuses. Oh,
Hey, I take that. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
all right. What is emotional exhaustion? So, Gene, tell us.
Gotcha. All right. So, emotional exhaustion is a state of feeling emotionally worn out and drained as a result of accumulated stress from your personal or work lives, or a combination of both. Emotional exhaustion is one of the signs of burnout. People experiencing emotional exhaustion often feel like they have no power or control over what's happening in life. They may feel stuck or trapped in a situation. Lack of energy, poor sleep, and decreased motivation can make it difficult to overcome emotional exhaustion. Over time, this chronic, stressed out state can cause permanent damage to your health. This sounds like depression. The lack of motivation, poor sleep habits, decreased motivation. Um, yeah, it sounds like depression. I mean,
Yep.
and a depression is just depression is well, I mean, it's a state of you know what can I say? Not just emotional exhaustion, but just a state of despair. That's the word I'm looking for. It's a state of despair. Um, you don't feel like there's anything that you can do about anything. You have, like I said, you have no power. You feel stuck. You feel trapped, and you can't see your way through. You know what I mean? All you
Yeah.
can see is darkness around. You can't even see your hand in front of your face to
Yeah.
walk. And having that the ability to recoup your energy in a healthy way will be like that light. So at least you can see a few feet in front of you.
Right. Man, just listening to you, talking about that, uh, depression does a lot of damage, you
Right.
know, uh, can really, and it's in the next sentence or in the next paragraph, kind of. So,
Yeah.
so I'll just read it. Lack of energy, poor sleep, and decreased motivation can make it difficult to overcome emotional exhaustion. Over time, this chronic, stressed out state can cause permanent damage to your health. So, being depressed, staying depressed, and mentally or emotionally exhausted, you already said it a little bit ago,
Yeah.
causes disease,
Right.
because go ahead
Well, I
before
was
you.
going to say that the central nervous system um, is weakened, and the central nervous system controls a lot of our immune system as well. A lot of the immune system is in the belly as well, and you got to think when you're in a stressed out state, where you feel it a lot of times, you feel it in your stomach. You have an uneasy stomach, or as the old folks say, you have a oh what's the term? Nervous stomach. A
Yeah.
nervous. They used to say that all the time. When a person is going through something, they feeling this. So again, and that contributes to um, a lack of health in the body, because again, a lot of the recuperation is in your gut. But if you're in a constant stressed out state, then there's no healing there. It's only toxic energy that you're um, recycling. Your body, you're not emotionally digesting whatever you're going through properly, so it causes disease in the body. You got to think that not only do we consume food, but we also um, consume situations or energy from situations that we go through in life. You're in a happy state. Your body consumes that. Not physically, obviously, but energetically, you consume it, and then it produces more of itself. And vice versa as it pertains to negative things. The more that you experience them, the more it becomes a habit in your body. You create that gravitational pull towards the same thing.
That's deep. And Mark said, isn't disease also called dis-ease?
Yeah, exactly. A body that is not at ease.
Yeah. Anyone experiencing long-term stress can become emotionally exhausted and overwhelmed. In difficult times, emotional exhaustion can sneak up on you, but it's never too late to get help. It's all about recognizing where you are, what you're feeling, addressing it, and dealing with the situation at that time. If you act like it's not happening, then nothing can be done because you're not acknowledging that it's even happening. So basically, you can't get help, in any way because you're keeping it captive, and there's nothing wrong. It's just like being, depressed or feeling down, and somebody asking you what's wrong, and you say nothing.
Right.
So you stay in that state of mind much longer because you're not, admitting, yeah, I am feeling a little down, or yeah, I am depressed,
Right.
And so in acknowledging that, you want to get to a better state of mind, quickly, because that is not where you want to stay. Yeah, I feel bad, or yeah, I feel low, or yeah, I feel depressed. So you spoke it out of your mouth. So now you got to hurry up and do something, especially speak something that's going to change the trajectory of that thing.
Absolutely.
I feel depressed, or I am depressed, but I'm not going to stay here. I'm going to get up and I'm going to do blah, 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 blah. So you're saying this is how I feel, but this ain't where I'm staying. I'm headed this way,
Right. Yeah.
Go ahead. No, go
ahead. I was going to say, saying the words "I am" before anything creates a manifestation in the physical world itself. So it's better to and you got to realize that emotions are transitory. So you don't want to, I am depressed. You don't want to be that. You don't want to be that. That's a feeling that's transitory. So I feel depressed. And eventually you'll feel differently. But if you say over and over again, I am depressed, then you create a reality of depression in your life on the constant. And that's not what you want. So be very, very cognizant of the words that you use, because every single word is a spell and every sentence is a conjuration. So be very cognizant of the words that you use. Life and death come from the power of the tongue, right?
Yeah, and just like you just said, if you say something that's not what you want to create, then you have to hurry up and say something to counteract what you just said. Because I said this, but no, not that, this.
Right.
So then you stop creating the bad thing that you spoke, and all of a sudden you're recreating that new thing that you spoke. Words, man.
Yeah. Powerful. Powerful.
Very powerful.
They create and destroy worlds.
Yes.
That's why they used to say the pen is mightier than the sword.
Yeah.
Because it's words that create the worlds around you. Swords, they come and go. They'll pass away, they break, whatever. But words forever leave a stain in the world itself. It creates a reality. Man.
And there is a scripture that says, out of the same mouth cometh blessing and cursing. So it's about thinking about hearing what you're saying. And I mean, it's never too late to cancel what you said. That's what I said. But no, whoa, wait a minute.
Right.
And I say this a lot. The devil is a lie. So I know as soon as I say that,
The devil is a lie.
Right. As soon as I say that, it just canceled what I just said. But then I need to immediately speak what is real,
Right.
or what I want to create.
Right.
Savion used to laugh at me a lot about that. The devil is a lie. Him and the girls would, they call themselves mocking me, but
Right.
and Liddell said something to me not too long ago, and I don't remember what it was, but whatever it was, I said the devil is a lie, and he just bust out laughing. But I'll say that in a minute. And now I'm starting to immediately say, what is real,
Right.
so no matter what it is.
Right. And in
Go
that
ahead.
situation, I would like, if you said something negative about yourself, I would repeat something positive more than one time. You said it once, but you said what you said with a certain amount of emotion. So in order to counteract that negativity, I would say something positive in return 3 to 7 times.
Yeah.
So you begin to get that
shift in your mind.
Right, exactly. Like when you repeat it more often, okay, then that begins to repeat in your head as opposed to that negative thought.
Yeah.
You washed it away 7 times with something positive to counteract that negative one thing. So.
And after that 7th time is a new beginning. That's what 8 is.
There we go. There we go. There we go. There we go. Infinity.
Yep. I messed up where we were. Lack of energy, no, not there. Emotional, stuck and trapped. We talked about. Okay, so we'll just start at what are the symptoms of emotional exhaustion? Because I moved my thing too many times.
Okay, I can do it. All right, the symptoms of emotional exhaustion can be both emotional and physical. People experience emotional exhaustion differently, but generally, symptoms include lack of motivation, trouble sleeping, irritability, physical fatigue, feelings of hopelessness, absent-mindedness, apathy, headaches, change in appetite, nervousness, difficulty concentrating, irrational anger, increased cynicism or pessimism, sense of dread, and depression.
If you need someone to talk to.
If you need someone to talk to.
Gonna sing it.
Call 988 to get your mind right. Don't get me started now.
Mark said, call on me.
Call. Jesus on the main line. What you want?
That song, if you need someone to talk to, call me. Is that what you saying, Mark?
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Call me. It's satisfaction.
Yep.
Guarantee. Yeah. All right, now let's go. Hey.
All right. Emotional. Yeah, that's what he was saying. Because I said that, so that's what he was saying. All right. Emotional exhaustion, feelings of hopelessness and lack of life purpose can be overwhelming. If you're having thoughts of suicide, call the toll-free National Suicide Prevention Lifeline at 1-800-273-TALK. 1-800-273-TALK or 988. 988 is also the mental health hotline. 988 for the Suicide Prevention Lifeline or the mental health hotline. So, we ain't gonna get to do too much of this. So we're not even gonna start it. We'll do that next week. So let's talk about some of the things that we've talked about. and also give tips on how um, on what we talked about. So, you want to go first, or you want me to go? Thanks, Mark, for putting that on there.
You can go ahead. You go first.
All right. So, we have to focus on what is good for us. Always think about what is good for us. Are we doing the things that are good for us? Are we receiving from others the things that are helpful? Are we saying to ourselves what is good for us? Do we have good self-talk or bad self-talk? Are we self-sabotaging ourselves? Um, because those things can also affect our emotional health. Um, and so we want to make sure that we're saying good things about ourselves. We want to make sure that we're hearing good things about ourselves, or, throw it away. And as I said, I'm quick to say the devil is a lie. And I mean it, because I don't just receive everything I hear no more. And words, I look at the definitions of words, I listen to words, and if whatever that word is ain't good, then I'm putting a cap on. I don't care if I'm saying it or somebody is saying it to me or about me. Now, that I'm putting a cap on it. So that's my inspiration and encouragement.
Yeah. So mine would be just for emotional health, be able to step back and assess like what you're feeling. It's important for you to take that step back. A lot of people just feel something and react and then regret it on the back end.
Right.
You have the power in the moment to take a breath, step back, analyze, even if you got to step away from the situation and assess it and come back to it later. Do that, because guess what? You've had time to think about it, analyze it, and also calm yourself down.
Yeah.
You're wrangling those emotions in, and then you can act from a thoughtful, mature, constructive standpoint, as opposed to being irrational, emotional, and destructive. That's where we fall short oftentimes. And then we cause irreparable damage that no apology can ever,
Correct.
say at that point. Right, exactly, correct. Yeah. There are things that are said out of anger in the moment that, regardless of how much you apologize, no matter how much you kiss up to the person or whatever, that is going to play in the back of the head every time they see you. It's like, okay, I hear you, but I still remember. I forgive you, but I ain't forgot.
Yeah. Yeah, it takes a while for pain to heal, for wounds to heal, and they may scab over, and then that person say or do something else to just pull the scab off, and then it has to scab over again. We have to be really conscientious about the words that we speak to people, things that we say about them, because even though they're not there in your presence, those words still come to you. They still make it to you because it's about you. So, trying to think of what the word is. I can't even think of it. How not radioactive, but the how words come to you. I can't even think of the when you speak words, they do certain things. No, no, not toxic either. I can't even think of. It's like something to do with the radio, the transmission. I think of it as soon as.
I think I get where you're coming from. I can't think of the word though. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. So it's just the power that the words has, and it's called a certain. I can't even. It's not frequency either. But anyway, we are at the end of our show. We you can go back and watch the replay. You can comment. The more you comment on the show, somebody else can come. Then Facebook takes it out. If there's no comments, it just sits there. So we want to be able to get this information out to people to help them. So we thank you for joining our show. We will see you next Sunday at 5 p.m. Central Standard Time, right here, wherever you're watching us right now. So we send you peace. We send you love. We send you lots of joy and happiness. Get your mind right. Take care. See you next time. Bye for now.